Oh, me. Well, good morning, guys. I hope you can see me pretty good this morning. I'm coming from my number two shop, uh, my newer shop that I've got. I hope everybody's signing on good and able to see me good. I'm gonna try to kind of haphazardly. Let me pull this desk up a little bit closer, or my makeshift desk, I might say. Trying to adjust that and my camera both at the same time here. I've got this newer HD camera. So hopefully, hey, Ponka, how are you doing this morning? I see I got a little bit of extra light coming in the background. Tell you what, I may just go set that door down because I see too much sunlight coming in there. Is my signal okay? I, I can't tell if I'm up here at my shop. I've got a pretty good signal on the Wi-Fi. How's everything coming through? Is it coming through okay? Doing good. Okay, well, great. I'll just try it. Let me just try it there. I'll just lean over that way, and I won't have to. You won't have. You can see my truck in the background. I've got one here that we're putting a uh, new clutch in. I got it lifted up on those sterile Coney lifts, and we're trying to put a new clutch in. Those Cascadias are a pistol putting a clutch in because there's a lot of plumbing to it as opposed to the way the others are. So that takes a little bit of work to get those things in and out. But I hope everything's coming through fine. We've had an eventful day yesterday. I had a guy blow a tire yesterday. It, well, that's what I was getting ready to say. It's been eventful as far as a few things. I did a lot of work with the Napa store this week, and we're trying to establish some new ways of doing business at the Napa store to improve it. And then we're also trying, like I said yesterday, we had an issue. The boy was going up I-40 and ran over something and blew a front tire. I mean, it just blew that tire completely out. The sidewall came completely out and just knocked it out like it was a recap, but it wasn't a recap, of course. It was a front tire. But we took the wrecker up there and just switched out trucks so he could move him on down. We got, with FedEx, I need to keep things rolling. So as not to delay it any longer, we went ahead and just hooked the wrecker to another truck, took it on up there, sent him on his way. And in case there was an issue, we didn't want to, with the way the blowout was, we didn't want to take a chance of it being an issue and then having to change up and everything, because that's what you get involved with. I'm gonna try to readjust this a little bit. There we go. That sun is coming right. I got the back door open over here, and that sun's coming right through there. But uh, say the signal is good, Ponka. I've got a good Wi-Fi signal here, and I've got a repeater in this shop. So hopefully my signal and my picture is not buffering or anything. There's no way for me to know right now because I can't. Oh, hey, Greg, how are you? Hey, Greg, how is the Wi-Fi and everything coming through to you? I'm using a different setup this morning. I'm up here at shop number 2, and thought I'd give y'all a little bit different perspective than what I usually do over at the Napa store. So, okay, it's A1. Good. That's what I want to hear. We want to be able to, have good quality pictures. So picture and signal is good. Great. That's what I'm after. I may have to do this more often up here. We, as you see, like I was saying, I've got, this is a clutch job we're doing in the background here. That truck's actually up on the lift. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's off the ground about it's about 5 foot off the ground right now. We have the sterile Coney lifts, so we can lift the truck up, and then the guys can walk under it real good. And yeah, I know a lot of people. Yeah, some, yeah, a lot. Oh, it's the best. Yeah, okay, well, that's great. I may have to use this more often then. I've got a new camera that I'm using, and like I said, I'm up here. I've got tons of LED lights up here too. I've got this whole shop is lit with LED lights, so uh, those two factors may be pretty good for me. I may have to use this more often up here. I thought about it earlier today, and I thought I said, well, I may just go to the shop instead of going over to Napa, and I'll see what I can do because I've got this shop built with a built-in repeater that repeats the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi signal is not too far. I mean, the tower is not too far away, so I can use the LTE signal and everything pretty good up here. So hopefully I may try to do this in the future too, and give you a little bit different view of what we're working on each week. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Yeah, yesterday Jim had to go after a truck up in Morganton. We like I was saying, we had that truck to completely, it blew. He said it looked like a recap was on the tire, although it wasn't a recap. It was a virgin tire because it was front tire, and it was the guy must have evidently hit something on the sidewall. I know something in the road, and it popped it and it blew it completely out and kind of caught it around the axle and everything. But we were able to switch out tires and get him going again. And well, we put him in a different truck's what we did. Like I said, we just for safety's sake, we don't want to think, well, it's just a blown out tire, and you get up there and he's tore up wires or airlines or something like that. So for safety's sake, we just went ahead and took him another truck completely. Okay, well, great. So it looks that good. That's great. I'm glad to hear that because, it's, that's what I'm after is to try to put the best video I can out there. And if I can do something like this and come from my shop or whatever, and it's convenient for me too. It's not too far from my house. So I may use this again in the future because I was thinking that the Wi-Fi was pretty good up here. But you never know till you try it. And of course, like I said, I put a new camera on my computer too. I put a new, instead of using the regular camera that came with this Mac, the Mac, it's an iMac, no, MacBook Air. It's a MacBook Air, and I switched it over and put a 1080p camera on it. So that's a new Logitech camera is probably a part of it too, and I'm glad of that. But I'm trying to improve my videos. I actually got some I'm gonna post. I got one that I'm gonna post. I went up and took when I knew I had to do this, I ran up to the shop and tried to help Jim get prepared for that truck. So I got a video of that with our wrecker. We got a pretty neat wrecker setup. We do a fifth wheel to fifth wheel setup. I bought this wrecker system from a guy about 3 or 4 years ago. He had actually used it several times for me in the past. And I told him, I said, Brad, if you ever want to sell that, let me have it. So he called me up one day, said, I'm ready to sell it. And I said, okay. He gave me a decent price, and it's got a Honda engine. It's got like a 13 horsepower Honda engine, and it runs the hydraulics. Yeah, you see, I'm doing it that way, so so as not to be trying to. It's healing up a little bit. It's healing up a little bit. I told my wife yesterday we were actually changing out from the mower back to the bucket on my Traco, and that's how I damaged it. I was knocking the pin, and I had to hold it with my right hand and hit it with my left the way it was positioned. Because the way the bucket is, you can't get around. I couldn't get around and do it the other way with my right and hold it with my left. So I was a little bit awkward because I am right-handed. And when I did it, I missed and hit my nail. Oh man, with a 2-pound hammer, with a pretty good lick, it hurt. It hurt, but that's life in the fast lane. I've tried to do what I can do, and I'll make it. Like I said, let me not be insulting. I'll show you. It seems to be that there's a little bit of color. I guess pinkness is coming back. I'll probably lose that nail, but well, I guess I did it. I just slipped. You know, I was hitting it hard and it moved on me just a little bit. And like I said, I'm right-handed. I'm not left-handed, and I was hitting it with my left. I was using the hammer with my left hand, and I guess the you know, just being awkward and you know, going from right to left, I'm like a switch hitter. I'm not as good, you know, that way. So it just hit my fingernail. But you know, I got it on. I got the pin in and got the nail. Maybe one day it'll look right before too long. Yeah, yeah, safety person. Yeah, yeah. I hear all these safety questions sometimes too. Let me take me a little bit of breakfast drink. A little drink for champions there. A little Diet Mountain Dew. Of course, my wife wants me to be. She wants me to be healthy, so I'm eating a Fiber One bar. So I got to be healthy and got to. Well, I don't know if the Diet Mountain Dew is healthy, but it at least brings me a little bit of caffeine in my, you know, a little bit of caffeine in my life. So I need that. But yeah, you know, like I said last week, you know, I was getting over my class reunion and everything. That went over great, and we put all the pictures up for the class reunion. It's on my Facebook account, and everybody went wild about that. They loved it, and you could see everybody was having a great time, and it, you know, tons of them said best reunion ever and everything like that. So I felt really good at what we did for our class reunion, and you know, we're just like everybody else. We're in one of the warmest late Septembers we ever seen. Dry too. That's the biggest problem, is dry. And we were, my pond has gotten down. So I forget which day it was, Tuesday or Wednesday. When the wife said, "Oh, the irrigation isn't working. The irrigation isn't working." I said, "Well, let me look at it." I said, "Well, no wonder." I said, "It's not good. It's sucking air." Wrecker. Yeah. Are you asking about my wrecker, Greg? Yeah, I've got a picture of that. I'm gonna put a little small video about the wrecker. Yeah, if I get back to that subject. Yeah, I'd gone up to help Jim yesterday. I'd gone up to help him, and like I said, we got a unique wrecker. It's a fifth wheel, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'm gonna put that video up. Hopefully, next. I mean, I actually got it on the computer right here. I just hadn't put it up yet, but I'll probably do that within the next few days and get that. And I was switching out the bucket on the little Traco too. I videoed that just to video some of the things that we do around here, some of the things that I do, give you a little bit different perspective of just seeing me talk. That's what I told my wife. I said, guys probably would like to see me actually do something. I talk about doing it, but I said, what I'm going to do is actually put some videos up so they can actually see what I'm doing. So I've got those two little videos. I've got that, and I've got one of me actually using the mower attachment. I got a mower attachment, and I was down at my pond, and that thing gets a little bit scary because that mower has got a lot of weight to it, a lot more than you would realize. And when you stretch that arm out, it'll turn it over. I mean, you got to watch yourself with the Traco because you can turn it over real quick. Yeah, more action, less words, I guess. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Yeah, I need a little more action. I think Toby Keith had a song like that. A little less talk and a lot more action, or something like that. Well, hey, comfortable man, how are you doing this morning? Glad to see you jump in here. Yeah, I'm coming from, like I've told everybody that's been in here. This is our shop number 2. This is the newest shop that I built. I built this one about want to say about 3 or 4 years ago, about 4 years ago, I think, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but this is where this is where we do like the clutch jobs. You'll see the truck in the background lifted up. This is one of my a clutch job on this one. Oh, you did a test drive for a, okay, now a tractor trailer, comfortable man, or just or or is it for a package van? Oh, okay. So tractor trailer. Okay, well that's great. How many routes does that contractor have? Or what kind of routes is he going to put you on? Is he going to probably now? If you got a year's experience, if you got a year's experience, good morning, mechanic Mike. Yeah, he'll probably put you on a team run. I bet you if he's got teams. I don't. I don't carry. I mean, I don't have team runs out of Charlotte. Yeah, well, if it doesn't work out comfortable, man, you let me know. We'll move you up here to Charlotte or down to Savannah, Georgia. I definitely have uh, runs available in Savannah, Georgia. I got some dedicated runs I need to fill right now. So if things don't work out and you don't like what you got there and you don't mind moving to Savannah, I definitely have some opportunity in Savannah. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty good. Hopefully you'll like it. And pulling the doubles and everything. I don't know. Have you been pulling doubles before, or is this first time for pulling doubles? That's the key to it. Doubles. I guess he's already road tested you and everything. First time for doubles. Well, doubles don't get intimidated by doubles. They actually turn better than 53s do. I like a set of doubles, and I going down the road, open road, and everything. I enjoy a set of doubles. Yeah, they'll turn sharper than a 53. Yeah, well, it's not a new shop. I've had this shop about 4. I built this shop about 4 years ago. That's and mechanic Mike. You'll notice I've got a one of my Cascadias on the on the lift. I got those sterile Coney. You see those lifts right. Let me see. Put my thumb right there. That's a sterile Coney lifts. I got it lift in. I got 4 lifts back there, and then we just chain up the tandem drive, and we just lift it completely straight up off the ground. Yeah, that the Mack trailer. Well, both trailers. In essence, what you're doing, you're turning at the radius of a 28 foot. That's what you're doing instead of a 53. It's like a tram. When you go down to Disney World or whatever, you'll see these people pulling these long trams, and it's got 5 or 6 of them hooked together, and the turning radius is only as long as between the power unit and the first trailer. Everything else just follows behind like a snake. I mean, you can actually turn a set of triples as good as you can a set of doubles. You just gotta, the thing about a set of triples is it just looks way longer to get in and out, and you've got to be a little more careful. Oh yeah, the sterile Coney lifts. Yeah, we like I said, you can see that a little bit right there. It's that truck's up about 5 feet off the ground, and you can get up under it and pull the transmission out. And we got a transmission jack too. And you pull the transmission out, which we've done on this one, and put the clutch in and clean everything up, put a new flywheel, and be ready to rock and roll a lot quicker. Yeah, you'll need to get some experience with that. Uh, you know, you got to be careful. You don't want to let it drop off the edge of the road. You don't want the rear trailer. If you're running interstate, and I see young guys doing that, you got to make sure that truck's tracking good, that trailer, that rear trailer. And if it's not tracking good, you don't want to let go around a curve and be in the left lane and let that rear trailer drop off, because you're talking about you'll be out in the median if you do. So you got to be cognizant of the way that rear trailer tracks. And of course, you're going in and out of traffic. You got to allow for the distance right there too, and that'll take some getting used to also if you've been in 53s, because even though the turning radius is better, the part of being able to pass a vehicle and then get back into traffic is a little more tedious than a 53. And you don't want to jerk it either. I mean, that's the other thing. We catch some people that think that they can just jerk it back in, like they can get away with it with a 53 a little bit more than they can a set of doubles, because it's going to be like wagging the dog a little bit. If you were to erratically, you want to do a smooth transition. In other words, you want to go up past the truck or trailer or car or whatever you're passing, and then gradually, signal and gradually move over. You don't want to erratically turn right, getting back into your lane, because that can cause a problem real quick. So everything, just do it smooth with doubles, and you're in pretty good shape. That's usually what I try to tell my guys. Just do a smooth transition, because if you do an erratic, or if you turn that wheel real sharp real quick, then you've created a pivot point that can really, that pivot point back there can, it's going to be twisting a little bit, so you have to watch it. So I mean, you just want it to glide. In other words, you move up and then glide to the right, glide to the left. Yeah, he was telling you too to be careful with it too. I mean, it's once you realize what you've got and what you are having to do, doubles are easy to maneuver like that. Now the other thing is, you want to be safe hooking and dropping those things. You got to make sure that when you're hooking that rear trailer, that you don't do what they call a high hook, because if that, in other words, what I tell my guys, when you push that converter dolly up to that trailer, and when you're hooking to it and pushing it up underneath the trailer, you make sure that it lifts that rear trailer just a little. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you make sure that it lifts it just a little bit, because once you do that, that means the top plate and also the trailer are completely against each other like that, and you're sliding back. I mean, the problem is you'll get these guys and they got a gap in between the trailer and the fifth wheel, and when they come back, they're catching the top of that of the pin on the trailer, and when they do that, and then they make their first turn, or it may not even be their first turn, it could be their second or third turn, but anyway, that coupling device is coupled up on the top side of that pin, and it will eventually twist itself off. Yes, you want it to be a flush mount. You want it to be flush. Other words, what I generally do when I put the fifth wheel up against the rear trailer, and I know I'm going to hook it, I want it to actually kind of be tilted forward a little bit, go up underneath the trailer, but be tilted forward a little bit. So when I do push it up, that's going to go like that, and it's going to be a smooth transition. It's going to be as smooth and not gapped or anything. So that's what you want to do to make sure. And I say that because that's one of the major things that happens down there, and you can get fired for that. Yeah, it'll jump out when you make your first turn, or first or second turn. Usually, it'll pull loose, because what it's doing, it's hooked enough to pull the trailer away from the location. But the first turn, it's like unscrewing. It's like unscrewing a bolt or a nut. It's taking the top of that pin and just riding on it. And once you turn it, it's unscrewing itself. I mean, it won't hook any better, because you got hydraulics there that are holding that together as tight as it can. So it's squeezing it. So what is it doing? It's going to squeeze and actually go to the weakest point, which would be the outside of it, and it will unscrew itself, basically, is what it does. And I've seen videos of it, and it's you don't want that to happen, that's for sure. So be careful on your hooks and your drops on that. That's very essential. Well, I hope everybody's been entertained a little bit with me today. I'm gonna get out of here. I've been on here about 25 minutes. I've kind of told mostly what I've done this week. You know, we with the Napa and that, and so I'm gonna let y'all guys go. Hope this video has been good as far as quality, and I'll catch y'all next week.